Good morning, everyone. It is February 2nd. It is 10:10 a.m. and we'll call this meeting of the Mayor's Council of Guam to order. I do want to, before we move on with our agenda, I know that we've been working with this individual for many, many years, and as long as I've been a mayor, I think I've known her for all the good things she does for us. Tanya Mendiola, she informed us last week that she will no longer be at JRM and she's moving on. I don't know where she's going, but I think some of us do know where she's headed to. So it'll be a nice surprise for all of us, and hopefully she'll continue. Oh, no, not hopefully. I'm sure she'll continue to help us as mayors and vice mayors as we serve our people of Guam. So good morning, Tanya. Are you online?
Hi, good morning, Mayors. Yes, I am.
Thank you so much. I know this is a last minute request, but we really wanted to show our appreciation for all the work that you've done for us. This certificate means a lot to us, and we hope that you'll take this with you for wherever you go, and you'll remember that we're in your hearts, so you'll always be willing to help us. I'll read this certificate real quick for everyone, and then I'll turn it over to you for some brief remarks. This is a certificun agradecimiento presented to Tanya M. Champaco Mendiola. The Mayor's Council of Guam presents this certificate of appreciation for your commitment to providing your knowledge and professional assistance in coordinating and assisting with the needs and requests of the Mayor's Council of Guam to Joint Region Marianas. You are always readily available to offer your assistance and coordination to our people and for all our village mayors and vice mayors. You have demonstrated your commitment to our island through your service and leadership to the task at hand, but most importantly, your dedication in keeping our communities engaged with the men and women of Joint Region Marianas and the many opportunities of interaction both on and off base. You are truly deserving of our appreciation, and we so proudly recognize you, our friend, for all your work and accomplishments. We wish you well in your future endeavors, presented with a deep sense of gratitude on this second day of February 2022. Signed, Mayor Jesse Allig and Mayor Luis Rivera. Thank you, Tanya, for all that you've done for us, and thank you for all your hard work. And tell us a little about where you're going, if you can.
First of all, Mayors, thank you so much. It's been an honor, absolute honor to work with all of you. I respect every one of you, and thank you for all that you do for our community. I will let you know in a few weeks where I'm headed, and I will reach out to all of you individually. And you've made my work easier. And that's because you guys really are the heart of our island and our villages. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you, Tanya. Thank you so much. Mayors and vice mayors, does anyone have anything to say or any comments? Okay, they're clapping their hands. Mayor Hoffman, you recognize?
Thank you, Mr. President. Yes, Tanya, I mean, I guess I've been in longer than Mayor Jesse Allig's been there. So you've been a real instrumental help in helping us coordinate liberation, the memorials, getting everybody kind of set in place, but most especially also those times where our sister squadrons and our sister commands needed to be engaged with our communities. You were there to also be that kind of that point person. So you've really helped bridge that relationship. So I do want to thank you so much for everything you've done at Joint Region and for the people of Guam. So, I've chaired liberation many times. And so on behalf of all those committees in the past, thank you so much for just really being there for us and helping us spread what liberation truly is to our military partners and to those visiting sailors and soldiers about what really the story behind it. It's not just a big party, but the education component and the sacrifice made by so many people. So thank you.
No, thank you so much, Mayor. It's always a pleasure and an honor.
Mayor Mendiola is recognized.
Yes, I just
You're on mute, Mayor.
Yes, I just want to extend that, Tanya. Thank you very much. Just reiterate from where Mayor Hoffman had mentioned, been very instrumental in getting the groups and our sister squadrons together. Thank you very much for all you do and the relationship that we have with the Mayor's Council and the military. Thank you.
Mayor.
Thank you so much. Tanya, thank you again. We'll keep in touch and we'll figure out how we're going to get this certificate to you. If not before you start your new job, then at your new job. But thank you again so much. And you're welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting, but I wanted to make sure that we do this first in case you had somewhere to go.
Oh, thank you so much. You guys have all touched on me.
Thank you again. I do. Thank you.
Right, adjust.
We'll move on to the roll call. Madam Secretary, please.
Mayor Jesse Allett,
Present.
Mayor Del Alvarez,
Present.
Vice Mayor Jesse Bautista,
Present.
Vice Mayor John Benavente, Peter John Benavente.
Here.
Mayor June Bloss,
Present.
Mayor Anthony Chargla,
Present.
Mayor Ernest Chargla,
Present.
Mayor John Cruz,
Mayor Rivera, do you have two devices next to you? Because there's a lot of feedback.
hello. Mayor
Thank you.
John Cruz, Vice Mayor Kevin Delgado,
Present.
Vice Mayor Christopher Farron,
Present.
Mayor Jesse Gogui,
Present.
Mayor Robert Hoffman,
Present.
Vice Mayor Rudy Uriarte, Vice Mayor Loreto Leones, Mayor Paul McDonald, Mayor Rudy Paco,
Present.
Mayor Bill Kenga, Mayor Johnny Canata, Mayor Luis Rivera, present. Mayor Frankie Salas. Okay, I see him, Mayor Frankie Salas. Mayor Anthony Sanchez.
Represented.
Mayor Melissa Savares.
Present.
Mayor Kevin Siswico.
Here.
Mayor Vicente Taitigui. Okay, I see you. Vice Mayor Albert Toves.
Present.
Mayor Alan Nagapta. Mr. President, I have 18 members present that responded and I've seen, and so we do have a quorum.
Thank you. Is there a motion on the floor to approve the minutes of January, please?
Move to approve minutes of January 2020.
Motion made by the mayor of Dedado,
Second.
seconded by the mayor of Manila. Any discussion on this motion? There being no discussion, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay. The motion carries. May I please have is there a motion on the floor to approve the treasurer's report for February?
I move to approve February's
The
financial.
motion is made
Come here.
by Mayor of Dededo. Is there a second?
From who?
The
Who's Nika?
motion is seconded by the Vice Mayor of
Babae o
Barrigada.
lalaki?
May we
Maganda.
please remind everyone
Where?
to mute your phone.
Malaki yan.
Matam.
Any discussion on this motion? There being no discussion, all in favor, please say aye.
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 All opposed, please say nay. Thank you. The motion carries. We'll move to our first guest speaker, Joel Setic. Are you online from Manialo?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, thank you. You may proceed.
May I please share my screen?
Yes, you may.
Thank you, Mr. President. Can you guys, everybody see my screen?
Yes.
We can.
All right, thank you. All right, good morning, honorable members of the Mayor's Council of Guam. My name is Joel Setic. I'm the project director of the Micronesian Resource Center, a project of Mednielu. I'll be doing my presentation today on Mednielu in hopes of tightening and furthering the partnership with the Mayor's Council of Guam and all the mayor's offices all over the island of Guam. So just a little bit about Mednielu. Mednielu was formerly Big Brothers and Sisters of Guam. It's a local nonprofit organization that has been educating and empowering children and families to change their lives for over 15 years. Since 2001, Mednielu has been enriching the lives of 100 children through the island by providing excellence in one-to-one mentoring. Over the years, Mednielu has expanded its programs to service to support families through site-based youth and family activities, which take place in several low and moderate incomes all over the island. We provide community programs for children and families in the different villages of Guam through workshops, hikes, sport activities, and many other activities. Many also visit schools to provide prevention education, which I will talk further in the next few slides. In 2015, Mednielu opened the Micronesian Resource Center in the assistance with the Department of Interior Office of Insular Affairs. Micronesian Resource Center, or Mr. COS, is staffed with friendly multilingual caseworkers who assist our brothers and sisters from the freely associated states, including the Federated States of Micronesia, Republic of Palau, and Marshall Islands, through one-to-one case management, workshop like the workforce development, Guam driving law familiarization, and other services to help the transition of their new lives into Guam. Mednielu has also expanded its capacity to also help islands to fight against homelessness and preventing homelessness by providing assistance to individuals and families in need. So that's just a little bit about the organization. So our community programs is what we offer with the community in hopes with to also continue with the Mayor's Council as well. So we provide opportunities to program into community. As already mentioned, we provide a range of educational and enriching workshop and classes like the financial literacy programs, or share inspirational stories about ourselves to kids to empower them. We also conduct art workshop from small mini arts and crafts to bust-up paintings and wall murals. We also conduct sports activities at school parks, apartment complexes, at the Gura housings, or just at different sites in the different villages. We conduct prevention education to youth and adults through the drug and alcohol prevention. We also help with with homework assistance, students at the sites. We form group meetings, which has been very hard because of the COVID-19 restriction, and other workshop like the workforce development, which I will talk more about it. But the workforce development, I just want to illiterate that is one of the most important and most needed workshop these days because of people losing their jobs and others lacking the skills and support to successfully gain employment during the pandemic. So our youth mentoring. So here's an interesting quote from Simon Sinek. It states, "A mentor is not someone who walks ahead of us to show us how they did it. A mentor walks alongside us to show us what we can do." And this is how we operate the mentoring program here at Menyalu. The mentoring program is an opportunity for bigs to build family-like relationship with smalls. It's like brothers and sisters, or our organization's name, Menyalu. Pairing of bigs and small, or the one-to-one mentoring could be a school-based or community-based. For school-based mentoring matches, we match our mentors to mentees at schools, and they hang out either at schools or after school at the sites where we conduct our weekly visits for activities. But for the community base, we match mentors to mentees to spend time together after school or during weekends, and to hang out, and then they can discuss with families on what they want to do. But lastly, we have also group mentoring, which is a weekly to monthly or daily experience for mentors to be able to experience the fun of being around with the youth of our communities. So that's the youth mentoring program. So moving to our youth impact. Youth impact is made possible with the partnership of the Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center through the Peace, Prevention, Education, and Community Empowerment Peace Grant. Youth Impact caters to prevention and empowerment to the youth to conduct positive action, which is a program that provides opportunities to the youth to be able to express themselves in a positive way. And positive action is based on the positive imagery of positive thoughts, positive mindsets, bring positive action into the community. Youth Impact provides evidence-based positive action program with identified high-risk students, especially 4th to 5th graders in our elementary schools. And we do these by providing protective factors of alcohol, tobacco, nicotine, and marijuana. Moving on with the next program, we have the Micronesian Resource Center, where I'm based off, being the project director of the Micronesian Resource Center. Mr. Koss, our Micronesian Resource Center is a program menu that provides culturally and linguistic services to our brothers and sisters from the neighboring islands as they transition to their new lives on Guam. So we assist clients by providing case management to help them with document preparation like ID, passport, birth certificate, filling out application for public benefits like food stamp, WIC, MIP or Medicaid, and other assistance like the pandemic assistance like PUA, ERA, stimulus processing, and many more. Before I continue on all the services that we conduct here at the Micronesian Resource Center, we are able to also conduct it at the different sites by bringing our mobile access to information van, our small van that can go out into different communities, which we hope to also go to the mayor's offices to conduct these workshops. And we've been doing these to different sites, especially the Guru housing, apartment complexes, and even the small pocket communities where it's very hard to reach to conduct these services or to reach the people. So I'm gonna talk about our other workshops. So we have the Building a Common Ground workshop that provides information to better understand the FAS community. This workshop is meant to be presented to government agencies, other nonprofit organizations, businesses, any other small groups that work directly with the FAS community. This workshop explains cultural factors to explain and understand certain behavior and build a common ground to better understand the FAS community. The next workshop, we have the Welcome to Guam orientation, which is a migrant orientation that provides participants with an overview and expectation about the customs, law, resources, and needs that the migrants community to help their transition to Guam. We also have the parenting workshop. It's catered to parents or caters to future parents about children's social and emotional skills, and it addresses the challenging behavior of mental needs for children. Our next workshop, we have the Guam driving law familiarization, which is basically a process of acquiring a Guam driver's license. This is a study session that prepares participants to get a Guam driver's license and have them study sessions to understand the the written test. And then we also have the workforce development. I'll talk more about this in the next program. And also the drug and alcohol prevention workshop for both young and youth and adults. That concerns have been brought up to the organization with the increase of uses of drugs and alcohol within the FSM community. This has sparked the development of this workshop, which is intended to teach the cost, danger, effects, consequences, and prevention of drugs and alcohol in our community. And lastly, we do conduct outreaches to in small communities and especially in the villages to provide food commodities to families in need, distribute donations, distribute translated pamphlets about COVID-19, and conduct COVID-19 vaccination drives and vaccination testings, and other many more community engagement. Our other program, we have the Employment Empowerment Initiative, which is shortened for EEI. This program targets the workforce development by preparing the community to enter the workforce. As I mentioned earlier, this is one of the most needed workshop or program to help our community go back into the workforce since the pandemic, people losing their jobs and people not making enough money. So we're trying to have them to go back to work, and the easiest way is to provide them with the right tools and right workshop or information for them to help them to go back into the workforce. So we teach a bunch of workshops. So we have the financial literacy, which targets of budgeting and understanding money and how to control your money, what you've earned. We also have these soft skills development workshop that enlightens our interpersonal skills and remind us the ways, behaviors, and knowledge to do best at our work. We also have the pre-employment workshop. When individuals are ready to enter the workforce, we are here to help. We assist participants in building resumes, highlight their skills, prepare them for an interview process by going over etiquette and interview questions, and assist them in job hunting as well. So EI also helps and refer clients to apprenticeship and training in the career that they want to pursue. We help clients to prepare their documents to have them ready and to work and keep them in close communication with follow-up to their progress to go back to work. Next, we have our program, Acuity, is one of our newest program as well. Acuity is helping in the efforts to end homelessness on Guam, and that is their ultimate objective. Acuity caters to homeless individuals and families, or those that are at risk of being homeless. Acuity provides one-to-one case management, street outreach to identify its clients and provide services to them, housing search and placement, life skills training, mediation, outreach to property owners, referrals to mainstream services, and many other services that relates to stabilization and rehousing. Acuity is all the services the menu provides, but caters to the homeless. So with all the programs and the workshops and services that we provide, ladies and gentlemen, those that are the many services that we have, but in hopes that with this presentation, we want to strengthen the work and partnership with the mayor's offices all over Guam. With this collaboration, MetNila will bring its services to the mayor's office through our outreach vehicle, the mobile access to information MyVan. We will schedule follow-up visits based on village needs, provide translation and interpretation in all the 4 languages of the FSM. That includes Chuk, Pohnpei, Yap, and Koshrai. Continue to collaboration with the office of the mayor's offices on different activities and initiatives in the community. We are also hoping with the partnership with the mayor's offices will help MetNielu to identify, refers families to individuals that will benefit from our services. allow Metnilu projects to host workshop events or other village residents at the community centers, gym or courts, and allow access to outreach supplies like canopies or chairs if needed, and continue to collaborate with Metnilu on different activities and initiatives in the community. So we hope for you guys to connect with Metnilu. Please connect with us by visiting our website at metnilu.org, or contact us through our numbers and email provided on the screen. Also, follow us on our social media on Instagram and Facebook for the latest updates. Metnilu will be visiting the mayor's offices starting this month to drop off some brochures and additional information about this presentation and how to get a hold of us. We hope your residents can leverage the many services we have to offer to strengthen the relationship between the Mayor's Council of Guam and Metnilu. Thank you so much, and that concludes the presentation. Thank you, Kamakar, Kulo, Kirso Tabur, Kalangan, and Situasmasi.
Thank you, Joel, for the presentation, and I do appreciate that you're going to be sending the information to the offices this month, so that we can communicate with you directly based on our needs. I know that there are different mayors that are going to want to, handpick some of the programs that you presented to us, and we're certainly, well, in PD for sure, we're ready to work with you on a particular project. So I am looking out for that. Any mayor or vice mayor have a question or something to share with Metnilu? No? Okay. Well, Joel, so then that's all we have for you then. And again, if you reach out to us individually, I think you'll get a good response from majority of the mayors.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. President.
You're welcome. Thank you. You have a good day. And we'll move on to our next guest speaker, Michelle from GTA. Are you online?
Yes, I am. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much for having us. As most of you may know already, my name is Michelle Perez from GTA. I've worked with a lot of you in the past, and we wanted to share with you what we have going on. We've had a great partnership with a lot of our village mayors already, building fiber to our neighborhoods, creating wireless home internet services, also keeping our families connected through services in some of our senior citizen centers, community centers, and whatnot. So today I wanted to share with you a big initiative that we're going to be doing in the next 4 years. And of course, it involves our villages and our mayors as well. So if you don't mind, could I go ahead and share my screen?
Sure.
Sure. Before then, actually, I have Josh Agerstrand, who is going to be talking more about our project as my presentation kind of comes through. So he's going to pop into my presentation as well. So let me pull up my PowerPoint presentation. Hi, Josh.
Morning.
Okay, could you see? All right. So our presentation is basically what we're going to be doing this year and through the next 4 years, as I mentioned. Our whole idea with GTA is that, our slogan and our motto is we start with you. And so what we're trying to do now is really work in our villages to bring out life and the vibrancy of the brand, but not only that, but also how we can help our local community. And so today I wanted to do a presentation on the partnership that we have with local artists through Long Live, which is a lifestyle brand. So we are going to be introducing and rolling out a village mural project. It's something that's near and dear to the hearts of GTA, of course. Village murals create vibrant neighborhoods where island residents want to visit, live, and take pride in. And we decided to partner with Long Live and local artists to showcase our commitment to supporting our culture and arts, living up to our brand promise as being vibrant, leading edge, and truly local. As all of you know, GTA has been around for over 70 years. And so we always try our best to be very present in our community. And also Village Murals, we try to cultivate partnerships. We want to work with each of you who play a big role in keeping our community safe and active, and also showing our commitment to keeping our island clean and beautiful. We want to be a part of an ongoing movement to build our vibrant neighborhoods. And so this is why we decided to put together a big project in the next 4 years. So I have Josh Agerstrand, who can kind of share with you a little bit about his brand and what he does with our local artists. And we'll explain more about what we plan on doing with the villages.
Hi guys, good morning. So just to tell you guys a little bit about myself, if you guys haven't met before, my name is Joshua Agerstrand. I go by the artist name Joshua Barragata, and I worked with over the last few years on a lot of different art projects, for public projects and private events and different things in the arts community. Previously, for the last 10 years or so, I was working with GAX, the Guam Art Exhibit, and also to work with Powwow Guam. We're now called Guam Walls, to do previous mural events on Guam. So a lot of the artwork you see around island, that's like from some local artists and some from visiting off-island artists. We worked on those projects before. So
Yeah.
currently,
It's close. Close? Yeah. Can you give the mayor? Have the mayor's office may help you. Just he's in a Zoom
I
meeting
believe
right now.
I believe someone's mic is hot.
Hello?
Sorry. So with the brand Long Live, what we do is we're working to actually execute a lot of the mural projects we're working on now. So they're heavily involved, me and my teammates, with the current Powwow Guam projects, and along with this GTA mural project, a lot of other artworks. And so what we're planning on doing is partnering with GTA and working with our network of artists and friends to be able to help produce multiple murals around the island in different villages. And that's all I got to say right now. You can continue, Michelle.
Yes, thank you, Josh. All right, so let me get to the next slide. So we are starting off 2022 with 5 murals, actually. So we're going to be starting off, of course, with our Dededo Call Center in Dededo, where we're going to be featuring local artist Austin Domingo. He's actually coming up with a design for that already. And then we're going to be filtering off into the villages, starting with Manilao. Joshua is actually working on a design for one of the walls in Manilao. So he's going to be coming up with designs for each of the villages. We do plan to hit up all of the villages and really have a mural in each of your villages. So don't worry if your name or your village is not on this list. We do have plans for the next 4 years. So we'll be reaching out to you. So this year we have, as I mentioned, the Dededo Call Center. We have Manilao, which is the wall. Thanks so much to Mayor and Vice Mayor for meeting with us already. We secured a wall already. And so that's the first that's going to be going up. Then we have our GTA PD cable landing station wall, which will be our 3rd wall. And then we're looking at Haganya. Don't worry, Mayor will be reaching out to you on that, but we do have a wall that we're very interested in. I know Joshua has been working with the owner of that wall. And then hopefully we can do something in December with Tumaning. So you're going to be seeing these mural projects going through our whole island and our villages as part of really our commitment to being out there in the community and really helping and just sprucing up our island in ways that we can. So on top of what we wanted to do with the mural project is eventually, once things get better with the pandemic, some of our future initiatives, we would like to organize meaningful initiatives and events in our community. Some of the things that we heard were the Manumku would really learn and benefit from a tech workshop in the villages. So one of the things that we want to do is eventually and at some point host a tech workshop for our Manumku, which is kind of what we've been wanting to do for a while now. now. Also plan a girls code workshop to teach girls ages 12 to 16 years of age how to code using our talent and resources, because we know that STEM is such a big part of growing our youth and just really being empowering them. This is what we hope to do in our community. And as we plan through and look at ways to go through some of these events during the pandemic or after the pandemic, we will reach out to the mayors as well. So if you guys have any other questions or information, just reach out to myself. We'll be working with each of you very soon. So just look out for us, our emails, our calls, and just let us know. You let us know if you have any walls that are available that we can look into. And then Josh can really work with our local artists to create something special for each of you.
Thank you, Michelle and Josh. Mayors and vice mayors, is there anyone that that has any questions for the guest speakers? The mayor, Melissa, is recognized.
Hi, Michelle. I just wanted to find the acronym STEM. Is that science, technology, English, and math?
Engineering, science, technology, engineering, and math.
No, the STEM.
Yes, engineering is the E.
Engineering.
Science, technology, engineering, and math.
Thank you.
Anyone else, any mayor, vice mayor have anything for Michelle? None? Okay. Thank you, Michelle.
Yeah, use your raise hand button, Mayor, in Rohan.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I can't. Is the mayor of Inalahan wanting to speak?
Yes, I have a question.
Sure.
Happy Mayor.
Day. So I understand. So right now you're basically saying this is like a 4-year program in terms of the mural and stuff for the walls. Is this as we identify the walls? I mean, right now. So if you were to whatever schedule you have, you're looking at is it was in Alon in the 4th year, or could it be this year, or what's the outlook for that?
Sure. You know, we have our schedule for this year already, but we can start on working on the schedules moving forward in the next few years as well. We just planned for this year for now, but we will be reaching out to each of you. You know, we'd like to see if there are any big walls that we could use in your villages, and just kind of think through the areas that you wish for us to have the murals. We can work together on that. What's really nice about having Josh is, you know, his team of artists have been so instrumental in a lot of the murals in Tumon, all over Guam. And so what's really nice is we can partner with them to really beautify all of your villages by putting a really nice mural there. And before we start planning an actual design, what we do is we will meet with you, get an idea of the type, you know, what your village is all about, your flower, your bird, or whatever you want to put in this mural. And then Joshua will take it to the team and then really create a design that's personalized for your village.
Okay, yeah, that was my follow-up question. But I guess the other question I have right now, so if I was to tell you that I'm ready with a wall and we're ready for a mural, what anticipated date am I looking at? Next year sometime?
Yes. So far we have our murals already planned for this year. So if you would like to meet and we can start discussing, we can schedule for next year or have a plan, because for the first 2 years, we plan on doing 4 murals for the year, and then 5 will be the next 2 years. So we'll be lining them up very shortly. Right now, we only have a schedule for this year, but we will be building another schedule shortly. I just wanted to reach out to the mayors first to really present our plan, and then we can take it from there. We'll reach out to each of you, and then we'll have our separate meetings and schedules.
Okay. I'm ready to meet even today if you have time, but because I do have a wall ready to go.
All right, sounds good. We'll reach out to you, Mayor.
Thank you.
The mayor of Huggett is recognized.
Good morning. Also, for Hoggett too, I think we have a wall ready if we can get a schedule to meet.
Sure, sure. Well, we'll work with each of you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Any mayor, vice mayor have a? Okay, thank you. Michelle, thank you so much.
Komata is waving. I think he has a question.
Let's see. Okay, the mayor of Humatak is recognized.
Yes, Michelle, I have 3 walls. They're not ready yet, but I'll get it ready. I'll get it ready for you.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
We'll be excited to meet with you all.
right.
I'll work
Awesome.
with
Thank you,
Joshua
guys.
and we'll reach out to you guys.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you too. Thank you, Michelle and Josh. We appreciate it. And yeah, we'll keep in touch for sure. You have a good
Have
day.
a great day.
Adios. Mayors and vice mayors, I just want to remind you to locate the raise hand button because if you don't raise your hand, I won't be able to see you. So just locate that button. If you can't locate it, let us know so that we can help you out. We're going to move on to our executive director's report, Angel.
Good morning, everyone. Although today is Wednesday, it's also Tuesday, 2-2-2-2. So happy lucky 2 days. First off, I'd like to, if you don't already know, the Recycling Revolving Fund account from EPA has been uploaded. And so today after 2 o'clock, the abandoned vehicles for each of the villages for your purchase order will be issued. Actually, some of the vendors have already started picking theirs up. Tomorrow should be for the white goods. And then those of you that have special requests, individually, we are working on those so that make that available at least as soon as Monday. There's a request, if you haven't received it yet in your boxes, from the Chamorro Land Trust Commission to assist them by posting on whatever bulletin boards you have in your offices, a listing of the lot applicants as of December 2nd, 1995, that the Chamorro Land Trust Commission will be issuing lots to these people that are on that list. So if you, the lists are in your boxes, you can just make it available on your bulletin board. As far as our senior centers are concerned, of course, we're still not open, but we are still actively working to get them all prepared. DSC and Environmental Health have been doing their inspections. We still have to inspect a few more villages, and the villages that have already been inspected, many of them are already passed and ready to go. So we have villages that's Malesu, Jonia Telefofu, and Tamuning. Santa Rita still has to be inspected, and then Manila, of course, we're waiting for the team that's there that's utilizing the facility to exit so that we can get it all prepared. As far as opening dates, we do not have any at definite time at this time, but we will let you know. As far as
Angel.
Yes.
The mayor of Malesu is recognized.
Thank you. Angel, you know, we've collected a lot of plastic toys all throughout the village. Isn't that part of recyclables? Are they able to fund that?
Mayor, that's not part of our plan because no one takes plastic. And so it just goes to the Lajon landfill. It is not recycled.
Also, the hard plastic are not considered recyclable?
No, not at this point. There's no processing plant on Guam to take the plastics.
Oh, because my only question that
You know, the programs that we started as Nagastas and North, which is pretty much equated with the recycling effort. But if it's not, then I guess we'll just check it out and put it into the landfill.
Well, that's where it's going now, because as I said, there is not even from EPA, any recycling company on Guam that takes it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Angel.
And then, thank you, Mayor Charlotte. And then on the ethics training, I know that all of you have seen that there have been some available slots made available by the Ethics Commission. Please take advantage of that. The maximum I think they have per class is 25. You don't have to make all of your staff go all at one time. I mean, we have 4 years to get this all completed. Just space it out so that, but the objective is that everyone on the staff that's on a GG1 has to go through this ethics training. How it's paid for, it has to be paid out of your own accounts. I believe it's $80 a session per employee. If you don't have the funds now, the Ethics Commission will allow us to go ahead and take the training, but they will not provide the certificate of completion until that training is paid.
Hold on a moment. Hold on. The Mayor Dedido is recognized.
Okay, thank you, Angel. I already started, my staff is already working with the ethics group. They will, because I thought we would have to do a requisition to do a purchase order, but they will accept journal vouchers. So there is a form that has the account number that we can work with Don or Joanne to do the journal voucher to pay for. Instead of doing a requisition, we just have the accounts JV to the Ethics Commission for the number of people that we send on that training. Thank you.
That's good information, Mayor. Thank you for sharing.
Yes, and just work with, like you said, with Don and Joanne and also Mary. And for those of you that want to go through the requisition process, as long as you have the funding and then you have an account number, you can use that process as well. When we get to the other part of our agenda today, I believe on the unfinished business, and we'll discuss the ARPA. And on the new business, we'll discuss the Public Law 3634, which each one of us, every one of you, have to comply with. So that's all I have for now, Mr. President.
Mayor Charglaff, did you have anything to say?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I loaded it down. I was just about to ask about the funding, if it's already been loaded up, but Angel said he'll discuss that later. Thank you.
Okay, moving along. Actually, Angel, no, I don't have. Sorry, I'm sorry. We will meet separately on the senior centers. So, or just a brief comment on the senior centers, though. I do know that we are kept abreast on the inspections of the senior centers, and so those mayors who, or those offices who have been visited, or what I would like to say is that every office is fully aware of your visitation, your inspection date and time. So please make sure that you're prepared for your inspection. And the goal really is to just make sure that your centers are ready for opening, turnkey. So if we're opening next week, that your center is ready to open. Of course, we do understand that there are limitations with the Manila Center, and we're going to address that. And those that have larger issues will address that as well. But for the most part, I would like to ask the mayors to please work with your center people, your rec leaders, because they should have the information and they should work with you directly to ensure that the the centers are prepared for inspection. Moving on to committee reports, are there any boards and commissions that would like to make any reports at this time? No boards and commissions. Okay, standing committees, are there any standing committees? Can we, if there are, well, what I'd like to do is I'd like to call on several standing committees. The first one would be the foster, well, no, we'll do that, sorry. Oh, we'll do that all on unfinished business. I'm sorry, Vice Mayor Kevin, I was gonna call on you here, but I guess not. I look back down and we'll do it at unfinished business. Are there any standing committee reports? Okay, if there are none, I would like to, oh, Mayor Hoffman, did you have?
Yes, thank you. There's a public hearing for the legislative committee. There's a public hearing this Friday, February 4th at 9 o'clock, and this is regards to the abandoned vehicle law and the changes. I know that we discussed this previously several times. So it's Bill 155-36. I know many of you got the email, which was sent 5 days ago to your offices. So if you can take a look at that and read it and add your support for it or submit testimony, it would help in kind of closing some of those gaps and those loopholes that we saw. So that's going to be up for hearing. Senator San Augustine is the oversight of this one, that he'll be hearing the bill. So again, that's Bill 155, 9 o'clock this Friday.
Thank you, Mayor. And just to kind of chime in on that, when we did have our committee meeting, that was discussed, and I did send meeting notes about Bill 155 and the discussion on Bill 234. We do, Mayor Hoffman, I think we need to work on support, correct, for 155?
Yes, my only concern is if they didn't have time to read the bill now, I don't know if we'll get the support in this. I would love to see that the body will vote on something or just lend their voice to it. But you know, it can go either way, just like the last one.
So I did the notes, the meeting notes was sent on January 18 to everyone. I'm sorry, January 19 to everyone by email during what was discussed during our Legislative and Finance Committee. And everyone that was present at that meeting has no objections to sending a letter of support for Bill 155-36. And so, well, I was going to make the motion, but can we entertain the Mayor of Dededo first, please?
Yes, thank you. You know, my concern is that we continue to move junk vehicles and we always put the VIN numbers, the license plate, a full description of what we have on the vehicle if it's available. But I think we need to go further than that. I think what we need to also do, and it would be a recommendation that I would send to the legislative committee, but is that if the vehicle has a name to the registration, that we need to start holding those responsible owners or irresponsible owners, hold their feet to the fire, and if they have other vehicles that need to be registered, to assess fees to those or hold them responsible. You can't register your vehicles until you clear these others. You know, I mean, Angel sent us a picture a few weeks ago of a vehicle that was dragged to the entrance of Wistic Road. Unfortunately, the person who that vehicle was registered died 6 years ago. So I don't know where they found the vehicle, but you know, we tracked the registered owner. She's 6 feet under now, but nobody lives in her house. What do we do with things like that? You know,
Madam Mayor, so in this proposal, this actually what it does is it treats it, so in line 24 of this, it says there that if the vehicle is not claimed after the notice is provided to the public, the title is revoked and it's treated as solid waste. That it automatically makes it so much easier for you now, because we're no longer have to track. If they don't respond to the public notice of saying that this is the vehicle has been found and you have so many days to claim it, then treat it like trash. You don't leave trash on the side of the road. If you're seeing it, you pick it up. And so this gives this, by doing the title revocation, I think this would help us in a great deal, having to worry about tracking down specific people who could be anywhere in this world.
I agree. Mayor Savares, does that kind of
Yeah, it does.
answer?
Yes,
Okay.
and I saw that you put their names out there for 24 hours and they have that amount of time to respond. If they don't respond, then it's listed as trash. But we still absorb the cost of removing that trash.
That's correct, unfortunately. And I think in our discussions, Mayor McDonald had been one of the most vocal ones regarding the junk vehicles. I think that will address this will address his concerns as well. And so in writing to the committee, hopefully our letter of support, we will include those provisions as well. The Mayor of Modesto is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. You know what the problem is in this abandoned vehicles is that the original registered or legal owners, when they sell the vehicles, there's no tracking system as to who purchased it or who did they relinquish the vehicle to. So that it provides a chain of custody of where that vehicle, if it wasn't registered and they relinquish it to somebody else, they should have a tracking system, and that who was the individual, who was the vehicle given to, and that person that received it as well should be obligated that if he relinquishes it because he took it from the registered and legal owner, he too must provide a tracking system of who he relinquished that vehicle. So we have a tracking system in the chain of custody of these vehicles that we can hold people accountable to. I have a vehicle that was just recently abandoned, and we have to, the license plates aren't there. We have to go to the bin or open up and see, hopefully the engine seal is still in there and has the serial number. But as far as tracking that, if we're able to track that, tracking system in the chain of custody of that particular vehicle, we can find out who had that vehicle last. Somebody. We just have to track who that somebody is. That's we can provide a tracking system and require it for those that are reaching that have registered their vehicles and their legal owners. They must be subjected to relinquishment with records as to who they relinquish those vehicles to. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. We will make that note in again, hopefully this letter of support. So is there a motion on the floor to support Bill 155-36? The Mayor of Mindanao is recognized.
Mayor, thank you, Mr. President. Mayor, I'm just concerned though, because like Mayor Altman said and Mayor Alyssa, we're still going to incorporate, whether it's considered junk at the end of the day, we're still going to cover that cost. The thing we want to do is hold them responsible for that cost. So, let's say that we're still waiting on the sidelines for the recycle funds to kick in to act on these eyesores that they're placing out there. We still have to wait, and that eyesore is going to stay there until we get money. So I'm kind of concerned. We want to hold these guys, like she said, to the fire, but we want to make sure that at the same time, by supporting, are they going to be responsible, whether they give them community service or have them pay back with monetary? That's the concern here. We're going to have to still wait in the process because we're going to have to use eventually our own funds to move it.
At this point, I think it is our own funds that we're going to use.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
So in differentiating too, that with that and the DPW the laws too, which was stated, right? That if it's in the government easement, that Public Works is supposed to assist with us, right? In terms of removing that, and then just because of the new law as well, that we're not supposed to be moving those, but then in an infraction or emergency or safety, we have to respond diligently to remove them in the same token. And it's our discretion.
Right, but at the same time, I think, so Mayor, I understand that completely, and I guess and you're one of the larger villages, so you're in a situation where you're going to be, your hands are going to be tied, because even if you're empowered to issue whatever citation, you're not able to actually dispose the vehicle.
Correct.
I can say that obviously I'm in support of 155, and I think what I can say about it is we can support it with that note of, the funding issue, right? And then, or perhaps that can be part of a discussion and perhaps even an amendment of some sort. Because I have to commend though the authors for the bill, because they did, they are trying to address our issues. Unfortunately, the bill was introduced and we didn't, we didn't throw in our suggestions before the bill was introduced. So perhaps we can do that now in support of what they're already doing.
Yes, may we, so I'm asking if, Mr. President, can we amend it if that's the process and move forward and including that they do hold them responsible. So if they're gonna find out that you're the owner of the vehicle, and we're gonna hold you to to it, that you're responsible, whether enacting it, to pay for that and to remove it before anything else that should take place.
Certainly, Mayor, and that will also quell the concern of Mayor Savars, and along with everyone else. So, and again, you guys are the larger villages, so I totally understand it. What we can do is we can certainly suggest it be an amendment to the bill in order for us not to incur the expenses.
Thank you.
While supporting its intent, right?
Okay. Yes.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I know that there is someone raising their hand under Matthew's iPad, and I am not sure who that is. So if you're not a mayor or vice mayor, well, we're gonna have to skip you. So we'll go to
Mr.
the.
President, can we do this though? I'll make the motion.
That's Mayor Rudy Paco.
Can I make the motion then to do the letter of support and use this all as discussion? Otherwise, we're gonna kind of keep going. So if I make the motion.
I'll second it.
Thank you.
Okay,
Now
hold on. So if that is Mayor Paco and Mayor Chargloff, can we yield to the motion made by Mayor Hoffman first, please? Any objection to that? There doesn't seem like it. So I'll accept the motion moved by the Mayor of Sinhanya to support Bill 155 and seconded by the Mayor of Dededo. And we'll continue the discussion. I do want to note for the record that the first piece of discussion will certainly include the remarks by Mayor Savars, Mayor Ernest Chargloff, and by Mayor Alan Ungapta. Mayor Savars, is that Matthew's iPad really Mayor Paco?
Yes, it is.
Yes, sir. Yes, it is.
Hey, my friend. Okay, Mayor Paco, we will change your name. Thank you, sir. You are recognized.
Well, anyways, just like what Mayor Savars said, they hunted down the individual who owns the vehicle.
We can't hear you.
I know I brought it up in the last meeting about, hear me? Hello?
Now we can.
Hello?
We can hear you now.
Go ahead, Mayor.
Okay. It's the same process as purchasing a
clear.
firearm where the seller and the buyer has to go down and register the firearm. So when you sell a vehicle, the seller and the buyer should go up to DMV and register the vehicle. That way it will be more easier to track down the owner of the vehicle. Hello?
You were heard.
That's all I have to say.
Okay, what I suggest is, many of you have valid points and questions, and I don't know if putting it into a one consensus of the letter of support. I think my take on it is, if you have a specific thing, maybe if you want to write it and go ahead and put in your letterhead, send it in as testimony for that, just so they can kind of weigh the options of that. Because what I don't want to do is give them 10 things and then the bill ends up being side scrapped because they think that we want to do kind of 10 different changes of it. So I want to see the debate on that, at least on that end. In a nutshell, please read the bill first, all of you, please, and so you can see it. And what it's doing is it's giving the powers of, basically, when you have a burned out car that really has nowhere of getting identified, that we treat it like trash. I understand the financial component of it, but at least we have the power then to move it, other than not touching it. And the last part of that is where we all have the concerns about the law enforcement removing the plate and leaving the car, and the car suddenly gets stripped. This makes it illegal to do. So there are key things there that I think that are good components by treating these vehicles. And there's a section there that says if the vehicle has monetary value, it's sold by the government to recoup the cost. And that goes into the recycling revolving. Every single vehicle that's most likely on the road already paid, since the recycling revolving fund has been in the law since 2004. So these vehicles most likely have already paid their due to what the cost is for the vehicle. So I agree about the appropriation side of it. So if there is that monetary value, most of these tow companies will take it because they can resell it. And now that there's no title, they'll actually bid for it. So there is components to kind of connect the dots on something. So please read the bill.
The mayor, thank you, Mayor Hovland, for chiming in on that. Sorry, I had to take a call. The mayor of Inalahan is recognized.
Yeah, so anyways, Mayor Hoffman already answered the question regarding the police taking and stripping off the license plate. So forgive me, I've not read the bill, but the one question I have, a constituent raised to me, was that if we start collecting all these vehicles, and I'm not sure if anybody's aware, but I was made aware by my constituent that the ship that normally removes all these abandoned vehicles is no longer in operation in Guam. Do we know if that's true? And I'm just wondering, all these aggressive efforts that we're doing may end up nowhere if the vehicles are going to be stacked up at some location and never leaving the island. So I'm just wondering if anybody knows anything about that.
I cannot respond to that positively. Does anyone want to respond to that at this point?
Yeah, can I just say something on that regard? Okay,
Mayor
Mayor,
Suarez, is it to respond to Mayor Inalahan?
yes.
Okay, thank you. Please proceed.
So Mayor Chargula from Inalahan, what happens is, the concern that we have is that where the two companies that are permitted by EPA take the vehicles from us, they, of course, they take whatever they need to, and then they pack it in containers. And so I don't know about the shipping companies that they deal with, but we know that when they do, because one of them is in my village and we see their operations, they literally strip all the vehicles apart and compact the metal that they take, because a lot of it is not just metal. They take the trash and they pay Mr. Rubbishman to dispose of the trash that comes out from the vehicles. But what they do is they pack everything into containers. As far as the shipping company, I don't have any information on that, but I know that when they do the processing and they pack them in containers. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Suarez and Mayor Chagla. The mayor of Molesto is recognized. Mayor Ernest, do you have two devices next to you? If you are, could you mute one or turn off one, because there's a lot of feedback. But Mayor of Molesto is recognized.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, I'm just getting back to Mayor Paco regarding the comparison between registering firearms and vehicle. Already there's a law that requires that when you purchase firearms, that you both go and register, likewise with the vehicles. But that is the ones that are currently registered. Okay, you have to go up to DMV, Department of Revenue and Taxation, and make sure that you transfer that vehicle within a certain amount of days, and make sure that you provide the required insurance. But we're talking about vehicles that have been sitting in people's yards, and that they're previously owned, that were registered, that they relinquished to other people. They have to have a tracking system so that when they contact them, what happened to this vehicle, they have a tracking system of who they gave the vehicle to. That is the problem as far as registering. And if you don't register your vehicle in due time when it becomes expired, you have to, in order to waive the penalty or fee for the late registration, you have to do an affidavit giving the reason why the vehicle was not registered when it was supposed to be registered, and the registration will be renewed. But the problem is when vehicles are sitting in the yard and somebody wants it for parts, and they relinquish it to somebody, the original owner and registered owner relinquishes it to somebody, they don't have a tracking system of who they gave it to. And then that person was given to, after he cannibalizes it, he throws it away. I mean, that's how you track who was responsible, who was in possession of that vehicle after it left the original registered and legal owner. That's my only point, is that there's to provide a tracking. I know that the police, they leave that on the side of the road and take off and then people that go there and pick it up and then put another plate and drive it again. These people are charged with fraudulent use of license plates. But there's what we can act as an addendum to Bill 155 is to require a tracking system by the original registered owner and legal owners to show proof, so that when those vehicles are found abandoned on the side of the road, they can tell the law enforcement or the mayors or whomever that this vehicle was relinquished to Joe and Joe. Go to Joe and Joe and find out who did you relinquish that vehicle to. So you have a tracking system in the chain of custody of those vehicles that were abandoned on the sides of the road. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Ernest. Any other discussion on Bill 155? Thank you. So I am going to call for a vote then on supporting Bill 155-36. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay. Thank you. The motion carries. Mayor Hoffman, were you voting or did you have comment?
If it pleases the body, that I would like to draft up the letter of support for it. We won't do a resolution, just a letter of support. We don't have to do the whole thing, but we'll attach everybody who's in attendance today's names as supporting this publicly.
Yes,
and then I do encourage you, just because we're doing a mayor's council one, please, we encourage you to tune in, submit testimony, as well as either through written or verbal. You can attend you all have the Zoom link for the public hearing.
Thank you, Mayor Hoffman.
And then the other bill that was discussed in the committee meeting was Bill 234-36. Again, there were no objections to supporting Bill 234 in our committee. There were questions asked of the senator's office, and I'm not sure if anyone received any response from the Senator Moylan. So 234 was the public-private partnership for the video surveillance cameras. And everyone received this notice or the bill. Is there a motion to support Bill 234-30?
I motion.
The motion is made by the mayor of Tamuning. Is there a second?
I'll second, but for discussion.
Okay, so seconded by the mayor of Sinahanya, and you're recognized, Mayor Hoffman, for discussion.
Thank you. Yes, in with the bill, I know the senator, the main points that we asked was the cost of this, the bandwidth, and so there's still a lot of unanswered questions. And I don't feel comfortable personally moving on without having these questions answered. It's a wonderful idea, but there's a lot of logistics that needs to actually happen for this. Who will monitor the cameras? Who is going to be paying to get where, you know, and especially the bandwidth part of it. That's the most expensive part of this is how are we going to get that, whether it be wireless or not. So with that not being answered so far, I don't feel we are in a position to publicly support this. Yeah, like I said, the idea is great, but we did ask them to go back and see how GVB does the 2-1 camera one, which I know costs several $1 million to do, and that's protecting the tourism side of it. So I know that one of the suggestions we had was to see if we can have stricter penalties for damage for people that cause damage to historical sites, historical assets. So that's, I'm not comfortable moving forward with a letter of support.
You submitted the motion, Mayor. I just want to let you know that.
I moved it just so I can have the discussion because Luis just chimed in before I can say it.
Mayor Calpago, it is recognized.
Yeah, and I'm glad Mayor Hoffman pointed that out because I fully concur that, you know, without certain basic questions on the buy-in of this bill, and more importantly, how are we going to tie what they charge to the credits that they're awarded? Those details need to be hashed out because, you know, somebody can come in and put stuff up and said, well, I need $1 million tax credit for this because, you know, we did this for Ordered Salampago. And it may or may not be.
Go ahead and say that. I'm sorry for interrupting, but I do want to move the meeting along. And what I would like to say is we can go through with it and get to the voting part. And if another meeting with the senator is necessary, then so be it. And I think that's probably where we're heading.
Okay, well, I just wanted to emphasize those points. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. The mayor of Molesto is recognized.
Yeah, I concur with Mayor Hoffman and Mayor Gogui. However, you know, those features and agreements should be hashed out within the respective mayors with those that want to provide the service. And in fact, it is valid that they put down what they did in order for those companies to get tax credits and tax write-offs. And that should be the norm. But I believe that, you know, there's 90 mayors, and I don't think we have enough security companies to offer that. But if in case they do, there's a tracking system of what monies they invested to partner up with the respective mayors. So those are valid points, Mayor Hoffman, that we need to hash out so that we ensure that the government is not going to be shortchanged and providing a tax break to something that they do not deserve. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Any other discussion on this motion then? I'd like to call for the vote. All in favor, please say aye.
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 With discussion.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay.
Nay, I don't understand
Nay.
what you're talking about.
Nay.
Nay for me.
I'm so sorry that I should have seen this, and we should have just done a roll call. I think that was going to be necessary. So can I just go back to the secretary? Please, can we do a roll call on the vote for Bill 234-36? Thank you.
Support it, don't support it.
Okay, so this is to support the bill.
Yes.
Okay,
Support bill. The vote is for to support Bill 234-36.
okay. Mayor Allen,
Nay.
Mayor Alvarez, Vice Mayor Bautista,
Nay.
Vice Mayor Peter Benavente, Mayor June Blas,
Nay.
Mayor Anthony Chargloff,
Nay.
Mayor Ernest Chargloff,
Nay.
Mayor John Cruz, Vice Mayor Kevin Delgado, Vice Mayor Christopher Farron, Mayor Jesse Gogui,
Nay.
Mayor Robert Hoffman,
Nay.
Vice Mayor Rudy Uriarte, Vice Mayor Loretto Leonis, Mayor Paul McDonald,
Hey.
Mayor Rudy Paco,
Nay, negative.
Mayor Bill Kenga, Mayor Bill Kenga. I see you driving.
Nay. Sorry about that. I was on mute.
Mayor Johnny Canata,
Nay.
Mayor Luis Rivera. Made the motion, I vote yes. Mayor Frankie Salas. Mayor Frankie Salas. Okay, no vote. Mayor Anthony Sanchez. Mayor Melissa Savares.
Aye.
Mayor Kevin Siswico.
No.
Mayor Vicente Taitigui. Mayor Taitigui. Unmute, sir. Thumbs up or down?
Yeah. No.
Vice Mayor Albert Toves. Vice Mayor Albert Toves. Mayor Alan Nagata. Mr. President, we have 15 that voted against it and 2 voted for it.
Thank you. The motion fails. And I just, I mean, I'm just going to say for the record that, you know what, can I just remind everyone to please mute your microphones and unmute yourself when you're going to talk, and when you're done talking, please mute it again. Because there's just so much going on and we can't hear you. When there's roll call, we can't hear because other things are going on. But I do want to say that we're not against the bill. I think most of us are supportive of the bill, but we could not support the bill because there are questions that need to get answered. So it is important for my colleagues, for you to know that it is something that I think for the most part, we don't have a big problem with it. And we welcome it because it'll help us keep our areas safe for sure. But there are some questions that need to be answered. And so that is the reason for the failed, I believe, support of the bill at this time. The mayor of Melissa is recognized.
Yes, yeah, I was about, thank you, Mr. President. I was about to recommend that we can make our interest known, but with, Bob Hoffman, Mayor Hoffman and Mayor Gokwe's concerns, if they can be addressed, maybe the council can take a stand in reverse in order to accept that. Thank you.
Mayor Hoffman, recognized. Ursula.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. I thank Mayor Ernest for that. And I think you're on the right, we're on the right track. We know the intent is good. I just don't want you all stuck with the ability, having to monitor a computer, watching this 24 hours a day and having to dedicate staff. And that's something I know that none of us want to do here. So until we get down to the nitty gritty of the logistics of it, I feel that, the Senator Savannah at the Senator's office was supposed to get back with us. When she does get back with us, if there are more answers, they can withdraw the bill and redo it. And as they do that and give us more details, we can certainly revisit this, and I'm sure it'll garner the support of our colleagues. So kudos to Senator Mourner for taking a proactive side of this, but it is incomplete, and let's figure out the rest of it.
Thank you, Mayor. Moving along, I do want to announce to the council that I have asked the Vice Mayor of Manila to assist, to be our representative to the Guam Coalition meetings for our April events. So the coalition has so many different events planned for April. It's also Youth Month, and I believe that the Vice Mayor and the Mayor of Manila really together as a team, they serve us well, and believe that Vice Mayor Kevin attending these meetings will give us will give us the information we need right away, and will represent us in these meetings as we prepare to celebrate the different events in April. So thank you, Vice Mayor, for accepting that responsibility. We're going to move on to unfinished business, the foster care project. I'm very excited about this. Again, the Vice Mayor of Manila kind of helped us along and took over a little bit more, because there were so many things that were coming down my way. And I'm so grateful that he kind of just picked up the ball and ran with it. So I'll let him announce that news, unless he already did. But we do have some good news. And so real briefly, Vice Mayor Kevin, can we go ahead and talk about our foster care project?
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. Mayors and vice mayors, were pleased to announce that when we started the campaign on November 8th, as of today, 2/2/22, we now hit 19 families who have actually submitted their applications. And that was our goal, whether it's directly or indirectly connected to our campaign. Public Health is very, very much grateful that we are able to at least accommodate them with 19 more families, some of whom are already licensed. So we're going to continue on, as our president had indicated, the campaign all the way to at least May of this year. The next activity is going to be basically our president is sending a letter to the Archdiocese, because unfortunately they did not send out the information in the package we sent them in December. So we're just going to ask them to offer mass at their respective churches and offer an intention on the weekend of Valentine's Day. So that's going to be our continued ongoing approach to the foster care campaign. Congratulations, we hit our goal.
Yes, thank you so much, Vice Mayor. Thank you to all of you, mayors and vice mayors, who helped us. We started in November. We went on through Christmas to the Lent contest. I do want to express our gratitude to all our media partners. I don't want to miss anyone, so I don't want to name them. But everyone that does any kind of media, whether it's print media, television, radio, social media, I really do want to thank you, because nobody charged us for opening our mouths about the Gift of Family campaign. And so to all of you who went out as well to do interviews with any of our media partners, Sidus Masi, for your willingness to support this campaign. Again, at the end of the day, it's about our children, and it's about caring for the lives of those vulnerable young children. And we're so happy that we've reached that that goal. Are we looking for more? We certainly are, and that's I did in speaking with Vice Mayor. We will certainly continue the campaign through May, hoping to recruit more foster families for the system that still has to care for more than 400 foster children. The the big deal here, I think, colleagues, is that these foster families, these new foster families and the current foster families are the true superstars in all of this. They are the ones who have to do all the hard work by taking care and by loving the children that need it most. So to all our foster families, to the new ones, to the existing ones, the current ones, really thank you so much for being the people that you are, and truly the superstars in this program. Anyone else have any comments about the foster care program?
Mr. President, if I may,
Sure.
if I may, just wanted to also thank our colleagues who might have been able to support. Last Saturday, they did have a fundraiser. It was a pancake breakfast fundraiser, and they didn't send it our way through the MCOG, but we were able to just purchase some tickets to represent our council to show them our partnership. So thank you to all those who did.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Moving on to the 7 Days Liberation festivities. Again, at our last meeting, I was not able to make it. I was trying to wrap up some other business, but the Vice Mayor was present, and we had discussed, that was our third meeting, and we had discussed some options for the council to consider. One of the, in the end, there were three options. I'm sorry, I'm just kind of like fidgeting through this. So for the memorials will remain status quo. We'll certainly continue to do the memorials as planned. Of course, Mayor June, we haven't asked you, and I haven't asked you, but Mayor June, can you go ahead and share the memorials, please?
Happy day, Mr. President. We would like to go ahead and share it. No problem.
Thank you so much. Okay, and then for the Queens Committee, or for the Queens side and the village celebrations, I think we wanted to have more discussion on it to see where the council wanted to go. On the Queens side, there were three options, and I'm just asking for everyone's help in considering what we want to do. So for the Queens side, the first option is to remain status quo and do the raffle fundraiser, right? So we would sell raffle tickets. And then two, it would be the Queen would be selected based on some type of advocacy and contribution to the community, to the village. And then the third is to not have a contest at all. And so at this point, we're looking at those three options for this year. Again, it's to remain status quo and do a raffle. Two, it's not a raffle, but another way to do it is to do some type of, again, focus on an advocacy for the young lady, and three is just not to have a Queen's contest. I don't know if we're prepared to even discuss that at this point, but I would like to know that let the council know that that is what is being discussed currently. The third thing about deliberation is our village level celebrations, and I'd like the Vice Mayor to talk about that. Vice Mayor Del.
Thank you, Mr. President. So in the past three meetings, we just kind of put together a list of ideas of how our villages can celebrate, considering they may not be a large-scale parade. So some of the ideas that came up when we had our discussion last week was a traveling billboard or two, and basically that'll just be parked at certain areas that are visible throughout the island, anywhere between June 8th and August 8th. Village displays like we did with the Belens, a mini parade within your village, which some are already doing, an actual mini parade with all villages participating, driving in all around around the island motorcade, things as simple as roadside waves with your respective village representatives, candlelight memorial, offering mass, and also village candy giving. So these are just some of the ideas we put into a list. So if anyone wants to add, we can also share that information here. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Does anyone have any discussion on what we've shared so far on any of the three points for liberation that we're considering? None. Okay. What we'll do is we will have another Liberation Committee meeting. We'll finalize these options and then present them to you before the next meeting, so we can vote on how we're going to proceed. Okay, are there any questions then, Vice Mayor?
I'm sorry, one more thing to add, colleagues, is that, Executive Director Angel mentioned something that made good sense, that if we are planning on doing anything this year, that we consider commemorating this year's liberation, kind of paralleling it with the war of the past, with the current public health war, and then to kind of recognize that people are actually in this war, particularly with mental health and other sufferings attributed to COVID-19. And then also now recognizing and highlighting a brand new generation of heroes, war heroes, in the form of the frontliners. So if this is something that we would want to tie in, paralleling it with the war of the past with the current war, then that will highlight the 78th year and recognize those who need to be recognized. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. That was a good point. And yes, I do actually, Angel did discuss that, and I kind of agree. I actually like that. Anyone else? Any other member want to contribute to this conversation at this point? Mayor of Molesto is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. Every year since I've been the mayor, I coordinate with the families of those that were massacred and those that were being honored every year. Last year and prior year, we were able to just have mass and rosaries. The families know this, that we're not in normal time. We have over 70 people to be honored. That will not even make accommodations of the social distancing. We normally have a 20 by 40 that's filled up in front of the monument, that those people who are being honored, their names are inscribed in the monument. So for this year, we only plan to do the mass and rosary as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, Mayor June from Barragata will be chairing the memorial, so she'll make sure to contact you so we have a full list of memorials and what each mayor plans to do. Again, so just as a side note on the memorials, you're the mayor, and we're hosting it. You're hosting it. There is no money for it at this point. No one has offered any money to support it. So you control it, right? So you decide how best to celebrate your memorial, how best to commemorate it. And the governor's office typically, of course, we always want to include the governor's office in our discussions. But at the same time, the governor is also very willing to hear what you want to do. And in the past, it was just kind of the same. It was the same ceremony at the different sites. That's fine too. But if you want to do something else, it really is up to you. Nobody owns it but your people, right? So however you decide you're going to celebrate or commemorate your memorial, please do so, of course, within the pandemic guidelines. And I'm sure that, it'll be fine. The mayor of Barragata is recognized.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. With that being said, we are going to go ahead and call a meeting so that we can get the mayors with those with memorials. I know that I talked to some already that have given them their dates. So I'll be working also with the Manengan Memorial, and that's Mr. Willie Flores and Miss Stephanie Flores from the governor's office. So I will be calling each and every one of you with memorials so that we can somehow come to all our dates and time, and so that we can make this a successful liberation and memorial for this year. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. I appreciate that. Okay. Any other discussion on liberation? Thank you. We're going to move on to the ARPA funds distribution. There's so much we can talk about on this, but I'll go ahead and turn it over to Angel to facilitate hopefully the brief conversation. Thank you.
Okay, from our last meeting, you're already aware that the governor did approve the 8.3 million out of the 17.6 that's coming to MCOG. And I gave you the breakdown of the 8.3. And one of those breakdowns is actually the one for each of the villages that came out by your vote to distribute equally, which is $46,954. That has been uploaded to the MCOG account. So in a few days, we'll send out a notice to all of you to send in your allotment schedule. This money is for operations. It's not to be combined with your VOMS money. This is a separate account. It has separate reporting requirements, and it will be monitored closely, in fact, by BBMR, because every requisition or every expenditure from this account, we have to copy it to BBMR so that they are aware of what the money is being used for. As far as the 100,000 for each of the villages, that's still on the plan. I'm just waiting for maybe 4 more plans to come in from the villages before I submit that over to BBMR, and they can release the funding for each of you at $100,000. The funds to purchase the heavy equipment, 1.3 million. I'm working with Linda Ibanez at DPW, because they have all the equipment, heavy equipment, catalogs and things like that. So they're going to be making those purchases with the assurance, of course, that whatever equipment is purchased under these funds do belong to the Mayor's Council of Guam. And then the other one is the purchase of vehicles for the 19 villages at $1.1 million. That we are purchasing on our own. We just have finalized with all of you, because although I did put in that we wanted a heavy duty truck, one each, an estimate quote price of $60,000. Some of you are opting to just get a regular 4x2 and get 2 of those. Some of you are opting to just get one stake truck instead of the pickup truck, the 4x4. So I'll finalize all of that with you, and basically, as long as we don't go over the 1.1 million that's been approved, we should be able to fulfill what is that you are requesting for. The other funding, the 190 for the 10,000 for each village for maintenance of vehicles, and 10,000 to purchase something at GSA if there's something there that you like. We've actually changed that to make it $20,000 to each village to provide for the maintenance of your vehicles, your current vehicles, and also for repairing vehicles that you have now that are down that can still be made roadworthy. So that's it in a nutshell with the ARPA. The remaining 8.8 million would be coming out later on this year, and then again, of course, we go through a whole process of the governor deciding how is that going to be broken down. But as you heard from our last meeting with her, she's very wanting to make sure that the funds that are being given to us under the Island-wide cleanup program, which is 100,000 for each of your villages, that you make use of doing just that, beautifying the villages, working hand in hand with Parks and Recreation and Public Works, because they also have funding for the same program. And so we would like to make sure that we put it to good use and make sure that the cracks on the sidewalks of Agania, that the green grass is gone. So if you have any questions about the ARPA funding, you can ask it now. But like I said, in a couple of days, we'll send you out the notice to, just like when you do your budget allotments, let us know what categories you want to put the $46,954 in and how you want to spend it.
Thank you, Angel. The mayor of Melissa is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. Angel.
Mayor, do you have 2 devices next to you? Can you turn off one device, because there's a lot of.
I'm doing that now. Angel, I have some, not only the vehicles, but the, my maintenance equipment, my riding mowers, bush cutters, and headers that I need, parts for. So I hope that, the monies that we're talking about is not just strictly for vehicles. So if I'm able to, I need all those monies, to be able to, and also, Mr. Vice President Bachman, you're saying that the Buy America, you know, are these funds objected to buy only American parts? And, you know, those are the questions I have. If I'm able to buy my parts, you know, the machinery costs 85 to 90% of the manpower hours. So if I'm able to get these monies and buy all my parts and supplies for my vehicles and my maintenance equipment, that would be a tremendous help. Thank you.
First of all, Mayor, I do want to say that yes, you can purchase your bush cutters. You have the 46,954 that you can submit your allotment schedule for, and when you get the 100,000, you can certainly do that. So that answers that question. Mayor Hoffman, did you want to respond to his second question?
Yes, any type of, whether it be ARPA or CARES money, it has to go by American. So if you're purchasing new things, making repairs using American companies, it's a requirement. It was part of everybody got the notice from Dr. Napati at the time of that specific, and I think prior to that, I think it's even on the MOU that you all saw that the Buy American Act does apply.
Any other questions regarding the distribution that Angel is talking about? So please take a look at your email in the coming week, the coming days, and respond to the allotment schedule request so that you can get your money and you can spend it. Okay, thank you. Any other concerns then for the distribution? Okay, moving along to new business. Public Law 36-34 requirements. We just want to reiterate to all of you, and you were all sent an email regarding it, making sure that you announce your municipal planning council meetings. And of course, if you have questions, Angel can help you offline about how to do it. There is a price listing that we have, but if you're paying for the ad using your NAF or your appropriated funds, you still need to get price quotations. So you'll have to make those solicitations on your own. We can send you, I mean, I have it because we had to announce this meeting. So we do know how much it costs. But if you're using any of those two mechanisms, whether it's appropriated funds or your NAF, you still need to make those, you do your request for price quotations as you would typically do. And you certainly can use your appropriated funds. If you don't have money anywhere, Mayor Savares will respond to you. You're recognized, the mayor did it too.
Well, thank you, Mayor Alec. We'll just take it out of your money since you have a lot. Angel, can we check? I mean, we don't have a legal counsel. Can we check the Attorney General's office if this applies to our municipal planning councils? I mean, I know that we are a government entity. Our councils are appointed to us. The thing is, I mean, this is an unfunded mandate that the legislature requires for us to do. They didn't give us money for this. Yes, we have money from the governor from the American Rescue Plan and all these other things, but that's COVID related. That's so that we can continue to take care of our people in our villages, not to do something like this. I spent $264 just to advertise my municipal planning council meeting for next week. I mean, we have a lot of things that we discuss in our council that's relevant to the community. I don't think the legislature, I stressed out for a week just trying to get this thing together. I don't think the legislature stresses out. They have staff to stress out for them. Can we get an opinion from the Attorney General's office if this relates to the municipal planning council levels too? Please, because they're not giving us money at the legislature to take care of this. It's coming out of my non-appropriated fund, which I could be using for humanitarian assistance for my residents. Thank you.
Yes, Mayor, we'll request the AG to give us a a definite answer on that, but they have actually did a training program just on this open government law. So that's why I want to recommend to each of you to please download Title V, Chapter 8. Title V, Chapter 8, which is the open government law, which also incorporates this new law, Public Law 3634. The governor, in her message to the legislature when she signed this into law, she clearly made it to the legislature that this is an unfunded mandate that they are putting out to all the different agencies, the different commissions, the different boards, and even making sure that these are all live streamed. Many of the offices don't even have the equipment, the internet to do all of this stuff. But it's law. Unfortunately, it's law. It's nothing we can, we just have to comply with it. And it's going to be in our budget for the next fiscal year. We're going to put it in there. But as of the present time, we're going to have to dig somewhere in our operations funds to make this thing happen. Just reading Title V, Chapter 8, Mayor Melissa, it seems to me that yes, MPCs are also covered under this law, simply because Title V, Chapter 8 says that any creature of the legislature that is in statute, established in statute, must comply with the open government law. And we know MPCs are established by statute. So I don't think I'm wrong, but I will still ask the AG for a definite answer on that. But as far as funding it, we are all in the same boat. We all have to dig somewhere to fund this. And it's not just, like I said, not just print media, just like our meeting right now is being live streamed, because that's part of the law. Because if you only do it on print media and you don't do live stream, then all your actions again on the MPC are null and void. You got to comply with both.
So Angel,
Mayor Suarez and Angel, is that it's not the cost. As far as the internet, I don't think it's the issue, because most of us have internet. It's the infrastructure that we have to actually conduct a live streaming, to live stream the meeting, and to pay for it. I mean, this Zoom meeting is paid, and it's not. It's government funds is not paying for it, and it's not. There was a law that someone said at that time that they passed the law was $15. This Zoom account is not $15. And the government of Guam is not paying for this Zoom account. I mean, and if you had a non-paid one, then you'd have to be 40 minutes? Our meetings have been 3 hours. So somebody's paying for it, and it's certainly not the government of Guam. So I get it. Mayor Suarez, I'm sorry, you can continue.
Okay, thank you. And Angel, we were using in the past, prior to this law, we were using our Sunday news, where we can put our village announcements. And that worked well. I saw Barragatas in there announcing their MPCs, to Munnings, the people that have their regular MPC meetings. Land management knows that if they have any applications for zone change or setbacks, they know when our MPC meeting is going to be, because they schedule a public hearing at least a week before. Now with the requirements of 5 working days and then 48 hours, that's just 2 prints in one shot for one meeting. And then the requirement for any zone change must have 2 public hearings. A municipal planning council is not considered a public hearing, and neither is the land management hearing. So we have to have 2 separate meetings on those zone changes. I have a lot of land, that doesn't belong to me, and it belongs to private people that want to develop it. So their applications have been there for 2 years, and they're still trying to get public hearings scheduled. So for me to have to know when they're going to schedule this, I'm making these applicants of these zone changes pay for some of these, I'm going to assess fees on them, the way that land management would assess a fee for them to send out a notice to people that live within, property owners that live within 500 feet of their property. But, during the time that we're preparing our agenda, I used to prepare a week before. Now I'm preparing 2 weeks before so that I can get in my announcements within the right timeline to get it printed 5 working days prior to. So, it's not like we don't have that kind of media staff, researchers, like some people do. We have a municipal clerks and an administrative assistant. We don't have the flexibility like some agencies. And like Mayor Alex said, we don't have people that know all these literacy problems. I mean, things that technology. My people are computer little bit, not a lot. So that's our challenge. So
the other point is the agenda. The agenda has to be detailed, right? So you cannot just put call to order, roll call, unfinished business, new business, announcement, adjournment. Yeah, it has to be complete. And whatever is not detailed and whatever is not printed cannot be discussed. So, that just adds on to your size of your ad. So for us, we spent what, $400 just on this for the mayor's council, and I can't imagine how much everyone else has to spend based on their agenda. Thank you, Mayor Suarez. I sorry, I had to I didn't mean to cut you off. I apologize. Are you finished? I'm sorry. Okay, thanks,
I'm
Mayor.
done. Thank you.
The Mayor of Chalapag Ward is recognized.
Thank you. I mean, and I don't think any one of the mayors or vice mayors disagree with the concerns this, Chapter 5 or 5 GCA Chapter 8 has, the open government law is having on our council meetings. I mean, but it really boils to me down to dollars and cents. I mean, if we take a look at what Mayor Suarez had indicated about having to pay $264, and times 12 months, we try to have a meeting a month. So times 12 months, just 1 year of her expenses comes out to $3,168. Well, in retrospect, maybe not as impactful on Dedido because they typically have a larger budget. When you take a look at Order Chalampago, people that have a budget, this year, our operational budget was roughly $36,000. That's almost 10% of the budget we were appropriated this year just to advertise. For the council, when you take a look at all of the 19 mayor's offices and the mayor's council of Guam, we're talking about $63,000 of our budget just to advertise. And I don't have the infrastructure to do this. I do not have the cameras and the computers. We have desktops. We don't have cameras part of our desktop. We don't have microphones that are associated. So buying all of this stuff, just becomes a real financial nightmare. And instead of giving us the monies to address this, they cut our budget. This year and last year, they cut our budget. And we're already sacrificing, repairs to our roads, road maintenance, repairs to our equipment, et cetera, et cetera. And what more do they want from us? I mean, we're not an office of administration. We're an office of operations. We're out there trying to serve our people. And, to have this, to force us to spend this money on stuff that could be better used in providing direct support to our constituents, that is just, to me, outright sinful. So I just wanted to get that off my chest.
Thank you, Mayor, for that comment. Any other, anyone have any other concerns about the Public Law 36-34? If you need some assistance, Angel is always willing to help you figure that out. Again, that is a big concern is infrastructure. I mean, even thank goodness, the one good thing about COVID is we're able to use Zoom. That only costs us cost somebody $60 a month, as opposed to what it's going to cost to equip our conference room with that infrastructure so that we could have, our meetings live streamed. So we're, thank goodness again for COVID that we have some extra time to put that together. The Mayor of Sanahan is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. And I just want to, with this whole open government, how much further down does this announcements and notices have to go? I mean, Mayor June's going to hold a memorial planning meeting. Does she need to do that? And then further down, if I'm planning an Easter egg hunt, zero cost to the government whatsoever. It's just a bunch of the residents getting together and planning an event. I mean, I just don't see people willing to step up to do any of this stuff anymore. And, you know, how much of the subcommittees and, you know, how much discussion can we have offline or when we meet or even on WhatsApp server saying, hey, what do you think of this idea without being in some sort of violation, whatever. So I don't even know if the intent was ever thought through thoroughly. I know there's only 2 printed medias here, so it puts money in their pockets. I know that, you know, for having to do on,
Yeah, Hoffman, I think what we can do is, Angel, can we just include that in your inquiry to the AG for our mayor's council subcommittees and our municipal planning council subcommittees, right? So some of us have, we all have municipal planning councils, but then within our municipal planning councils, you have events. And so perhaps you have subcommittees in your municipal planning councils that, you know, coordinate your Easter egg hunts, and they meet.
Halloween, Christmas. I mean,
right.
I don't want to get slapped as, you know, because I understand if it's government side, but if no one's, I mean, if our MPC are not compensated, they're not, you know, and the roles they're playing exactly in these subcommittees are not even government entity wise. We collect, so we solicit donations, we do what we can, and we go out help. Even our fiesta committees. So yeah, I would love to see that kind of go down the line, because it's very ill thought of legislation, I think, or law, when it kind of starts going down to all that. I'm just like, you know what, I don't even want to have a meeting anymore. And I don't think anybody wants to serve on that anymore, because I'm not going to spend $3,000 that way a year to do that, when it could easily pay for repairs to our vehicles and everything else. We work hard to raise that money, and for it to just kind of go, when we were fine putting it on our websites, we were fine putting it on, you know, sending it out emails. It worked for email public notices, how we get public hearing notices for all the agencies. It worked well. If the media wants to report it out. But if not, unless the media is going to give us free space to let these people know, then I could say, yeah, we can do it. But as long as, you know, we have to pay a premium for actual rented space on a paper or on a TV channel, I don't see myself having any meetings on this. We don't do anything government. Let the agency worry about it. Let land management worry about the land transfers. Don't involve the mayors.
Thank you, Mayor Halvin. And just to chime in on that, Mayor Savares had mentioned it many, many moons ago about publishing it in the Village News that one of the papers have. And, you know, I was doing that before I was mayor. We were doing that, and I was making sure that it went into the Village News. And like Mayor Savares said, Barragata does the same. When I became mayor, I just posted it on our mayor's council, you know, gave Elaine the information, and she posted it on the mayor's council website. So we're not really hiding anything from anyone. It's there. The information is out there for the public to see. But, you know, we're not the senators. We're just the mayors. So I'll turn it over to the floor to the mayor after when he gets recognized. You're on mute. I'm gonna count. Go ahead.
Okay. No, I wanted to also check on the issue of having to publish public hearings, because no action is being taken. We're just listening, you know. So you know, we have the big one in regards to the Vista Del Mar project that's going to happen. This is going to be our second public hearing. So again, with the open government law and the time frame and all that, you know, because we're having to do it back to back with our MPC meetings, announcing it, you know, are we required to have to announce that as well? Because there's no voting going to take place. We're just there to listen.
I'm sure you are required.
You have to.
I'm sure that's probably one of I'm sure that was the impetus to this as well. But Angel can include that just for your, you know, you know, so
yeah, because there are too many projects right now. There's a whole stack of applications that have been there for 2 years. So, you know,
like Mayor Savares said, Mayor Rivera, perhaps we should send a request to the committee that introduced the bill to amend it, or to offer another bill, to introduce a new bill that charges those applicants the public notice fee.
Okay. That's actually what land management recommended, because when they send out the notices to those that are within 500 feet of the property. They assess that fee for the mail to the applicant. So Louise, that is something that you assess the applicant.
Yes, and see, and that's what I wanted is for the legislature to revisit this law, this bill, you know, with to amend it or something, because you know there's too many, and then we're required to do two public hearings by the Municipal Planning Council. And so, you know, that takes a lot of time, and then the space, you know, having to book it, because we're also having to book the public hearing for land management. They do one from them, and then the Municipal Planning Council is required to do two. And then we have to have our MPC meeting to vote on it, whether we're in support of it or, you know, against it. You know, so there's a lot of wasted time. You know, people know about it. If they want to put in their testimony about it, they can, because even like I said, 2,000 people come up and are opposed to a project. They can bring it up at the public hearing, but the final decision is made by the Chamorro Land Use Commission. I mean, the Guam Land Use Commission. You know, the people that are on that council, that meeting, that's where it really matters. So, you know, you know, that's why we really need to revisit and, you know, talk to the legislature about making this change, because it's just hurting us unnecessarily. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Rivera. I think what's best to do is, or what might be prudent, is to wait for the Attorney General's response to Angel's letter, and then we can take it from there. If it's necessary for us to draft, you know, an amendment to the law, you know, we could probably consider that. But it might be best to wait to see what the Attorney General says. Thank you, Mayor Rivera. The Mayor Mingilao is recognized.
Sorry, I stepped away for a minute. I just wanted to, if I missed it or it was mentioned earlier, just need to get clarification. Where are we at with our users fee, number one, like our facilities and our areas, and number two, like compensating our MPCs and all that, or giving them a stipend or things like that. Is anyone paying their MPC currently right now, and how are you guys doing that?
I am.
Okay, someone is, okay. Someone's
I
paying.
give from we voted at the beginning of the year that we get stipends, because what they do, and it comes out of our non-appropriate flea market account, they help us with our flea market inspections.
Yeah.
So you're not paying them, but it's because they're actively involved in our inspections at the flea market, as well as, like you said, they're in subcommittees. We give, and it's not a big stipend. It's $50 for them, but you must attend the meeting.
Correct. An incentive night, and at the same time, an appreciation, because when we have our meetings too as well, sometimes it's like 6. We don't want to have it late at night either and stuff. But when we have it at a decent time, they're off to work. They come and they spend their time, and some of them too. Like I said, they fit. We all fit to manage our schedule in the best interest of our community and the best format to dialogue regarding issues concerning our community. Thank you, Mayor. So you can use the NAF, or you can vote on it.
It has to be a part of your minutes. It has to be a part of your approved minutes that, you know, and the reason, if you're not just paying them for coming to meetings, are they part of a subcommittee?
Correct.
And stuff, right?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Well, in PD, we don't pay our council because we don't have enough money in our appropriated funds. And we just, you know, so now, yeah, no, we don't compensate the council. The users fee, we never went through with that. Angel, do you want to?
Okay. Yes. So are we still like, was that ever in a form of, remember we were seeking? No? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Just wanted to clarify.
Remember back sometime last year, when we were bringing this up, of course, it was the pandemic, and it was just not a favorable time to put something out where we're going to charge people for something, especially when they were out of jobs and they weren't doing anything. And then the big thing, I think, that put this down, not on the front line anymore is because there were many mayors that says, well, even if you do a user's fee, I'll decide if I'm going to charge my people or not. It came out with a funeral escort. It came out with the rental of the canopies and chairs. The bottom line, if it's not going to be used throughout all the 19 villages, and some are going to charge and some aren't, you're going to get the scenario where if I go to Dedado and she's charging me $100 for a canopy and Jigo does not charge anything, then I might as well just go to Jigo and get their canopy. And that was the scenario. Is if we're not
That's
gonna be
why
doing it together, then you know it's what's the purpose?
No, I agree. I'm just asking because I'm still hearing some people saying that they're being charged. I said nobody's being charged. That's why I wanted for clarification.
Yeah,
Because
no
I
one
want
is
to make
being
sure
charged.
that the respective people that are in their community or getting help or support from their primary village are not being, because I don't know if I'm getting it wrong, but they're either that or, like I said, they're trying to find a way to get something else. But I'm letting them, as far as I know, I don't charge. You know, if they're to donate, then that's fine. We all agreed upon that. I understand. Thank you, Angel, for that. But I just wanted clarification on that, because when I said they shouldn't be charging, nor would I be charging at this current situation as well.
No, there's no one is charging. If there's any charge, it's actually just a deposit to make sure that they get the stuff back. And when they get it back, then they give them the money. But they're not being charged to use it. And
So
other
then
villages
perhaps they're
also
getting
just,
mistaken.
another village, they just accepted a donation. Some of the people will come up and say, even if you don't charge me anything, here's a donation of $100 for letting us use your facility or using your equipment and things like that. So, but yeah, there is no charge. If there is, just a deposit to make sure it comes back to you. And then once it's come back and it's still in good condition, you know, the way they took it out, then you just refund them their money. And it's all received. Yeah.
Thank you. The mayor of Melissa is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. Let me know. You know, the problem with when we start charging, we cannot be selective in charging some and retrieving others. We gotta be consistent and making the charges consistently across the board. I've given and I've made people from outside of my village borrow my inventory. So for me to charge my constituents and then make it free for those, you know, if the mayors, we can support each other. If you cannot provide, we can call upon each other to provide for each other's constituents because of the unavailability of your logistics. I cannot hear myself. Hello? Yes. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello?
Loud
Hello?
and clear.
Yes, you know, something's going on with my audio. But like I said, you know, I've given my logistics and canopies, tables and chairs to some of our colleagues and even some of their residents who are able to not secure logistics from the mayors because of the reason that all their logistics are out. You know, these logistics not belong not only to the mayors, but it belongs to the government of Guam, which is to service the people. But the logistics that we have in our respective villages is for use of our constituents in our respective villages. But if it's not being used and any of our colleagues that may need help to provide the service, I welcome any of them to call me and say, Mayor, do you have this availability? Then we can help each other to provide service to our constituents. But when we're going to start charging, you cannot provide, you know, uneven treatment and inequality in the application of those fees. If you start charging for one, you got to charge them all. And unless you provide an exception to the charges, that will be a problem. That you say, the mayor is only picks and choose who he wants to have it free for and pay for, others pay for it. So to me, that's, you know, when you have the logistics, if it's not needed in your respective villages, and your colleagues need help because they want to accommodate their constituents, we can lend each other, you know. And so what, I'll charge a mayor because she asked me to borrow? No. Thank you, guys. I just need to clarify that because sometimes I get accused that I only let people borrow that I like or my family and friends, which is nothing can be further from the truth. I don't pick and choose. Those logistics belong to my office. They are not my personal. So I just want to bring that up. Thank you.
Any other concerns on Public Law 36-34? The Mayor of Chilliwack Gordon is recognized. 3634, please.
Yeah, this has nothing to do with 3234.
Okay, we'll move on then. Anything else on 3634? Okay, moving to announcements. I do have two announcements. The first announcement is that Peter Lexada is requesting or is compiling a book with someone and is requesting for couples that are married 60 plus years. If you have any couples in your village that have been married for 60 or more years, to please give him a call at 482-7776. Again, they are looking for married couples 60 or more years, 482-7776. And then I do want to make an announcement about the work release program that we spoke about. I did send a list of villages starting with Sinahanya. However, that program is not available at this time. So the DOC, we talked about the DOC halfway house going out to the villages. It is not a program that is being operated at this time. So we'll just hear back and we'll let you know if we hear, or if anyone else hears, let us know. So if you had planned to use DOC halfway house to help you with your maintenance, it is not a program that is being operated. Are there any other announcements? No announcements? Okay, well, I do want to acknowledge the presence of Senator Taitigui and our liaison at the governor's office, former Mayor Bob Lizama. Thank you for joining us. Any other announcements? Okay, if there are no other announcements, it's 12:27 and this meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
You too.
Have a great day.
Bye.
Thank you.
Have a good
Stay
day.
safe.
Bye.
Stay safe.
Stay safe.